Hello everyone, Power of Tabarn here. We are back with Game 2 of the set between Duck and Haruno. Oh cool, Haku and Figs are side commentating.
I might get them on the recording when Haruno brings out Elise, because these Elise games are going to go on for a really long time and are probably not going to be very funny, or very fun to watch. Anyways, this is a pretty huge game for Duck. If Duck can win this game as Ike, it's going to be pretty huge, because if Duck wins with Ike, then I'm pretty sure Soren and Mia can both very safely take games off of Elise. So for Haruno, this is a game that he absolutely has to win. Tiki is his flagship deck, it's his best deck, it's his deck he's most proud of. It's easily the deck that he has the most success with. I feel like I've said that before. If I have, I apologize, but yeah. This is Haruno's best deck. However, that being said, if we look at the chat logs, Haruno said this earlier. Oh god, after he drew his second hand. So, this could be scary for Haruno. That being said, Tiki's a very consistent deck, so I highly doubt it's that bad. Who knows, it could be that bad, but I doubt it. He had a Jenny in his... He's bonding a Jenny. There's no way his opening hand is an oh god if he is bonding a Jenny. I refuse to believe his opening hand is that bad. Like, if you have a Jenny in your hand, period, that's not an oh god. Okay, anyways, whatever. I also happen to main Tiki, so I know a lot about the deck, but this is a matchup that I feel Ike has no business winning. And as I mentioned earlier, this is Haruno's flagship deck. I really don't see Duck winning this matchup, like, at all. Very nice for Haruno. He has the dodge. I don't know if I would have tap moved back with Tiki there. I think Haruno might just be nervous. Tournament nerves kicking in. Just end my... Dude, you bonded a Jenny. It can't be that bad. It can't be that fucking bad. Alright. Let's see what Haruno decides to do. I almost want to just type, you bonded a Jenny. Get over it. Somebody left the Discord call that I am deafened in. I wonder who it was. I'm not going to check. And, yeah, Haruno is just milling. He's preparing to heal some cards. That must be the problem. He bonded a Gregor instead of playing it. His problem is most likely just, like, he didn't have any blue cards in his hand. If that's his only issue, he'll be fine. As long as he has, like, evades, promotions. Clearly he has another Jenny in his hand. Like, you'd have to be an absolute fool to bond your only Jenny for. That is literally how you win the game. But, I don't know. I think Haruno isn't a bad player. Sometimes he makes some very questionable plays, like going face with Grima in an international tourney, but, like, I don't think he's a bad player for the most part. Sometimes he does make some questionable plays, though, so who knows? Maybe that could be one of them. I don't know what's in his hand. Even if he does have, I don't know, like he has 6 evades in his hand or something, you still bond the evade before bonding Jenny. Jenny's the most important card in your deck. So yeah, he has to have another Jenny in his hand. I refuse to believe that he doesn't have another Jenny in his hand. And with that in mind, his hand actually cannot be that bad. Alright, so Duck has frontlined Nino, and he's just going for the aggressive here. That definitely seems to be his philosophy here. He played a Micaiah 1 earlier, tried to hit Tiki in the face. So aggression seems to be the name of the game here for Duck. I don't know if I would have taken this approach to this matchup, but then again, I don't know. Like, this is a pretty hard matchup for... Yeah, so he has another Jenny. God. Oh, God! Whatever, dude. You have Jenny in your hand. Anyways. So Nino falls. Duck didn't even stack a Berserk Ike. If Haruno plays his cards correctly, you can just straight up, I feel like, win the game here. I feel like he's probably going to heal a Tiki into Delthea or a Tiki into Maria. His goal is just going to try and... I think, like, a good play for Haruno to make would just be to try and keep this Delthea alive. That way he can overclass it next turn. And if it dies, then he uses... he just promotes Alright, yeah, he's definitely using Jenny's skill. He needs to decide whether he wants to leave blue or red open, though. Looks like he's going to be leaving... Nope, okay, he's just flipping his bonds in a weird order. He's going to leave red open. I would have been pretty surprised if he had chosen to leave blue open. Personally, if I have to choose between leaving red and blue open when I play Tiki, I almost always leave red open. You have way more red cards than blue cards, but at the same time, that's like kind of the point. Almost all of your good cards are red. Pretty much your blue cards are anti-aggro, Gregor and Robin, and then Maui in case you need to get certain shit out of your bonds. All of the cards that you need to win the game, though, stuff like Jenny, Dalthea, Celica to clear your opponent's board, even your final promo, that is all red. So this is an important turn for Duck here, or I guess I should say, oh, that's unfortunate. That sucks. I'm pretty sure Duck can still use Micaiah's skill, like, at the end of his turn before she dies to Berserkite, but that's still super unfortunate for Duck, because Haruno, he has, just playing Tiki in general, you oftentimes lack ways to deal with backline threats, and Micaiah is a backline threat. If she stays on the field for, like, 2 turns generally, then that can oftentimes allow Ike to snowball the game into his favor. And Haruno dodged. He dodged with Dalthea. His only frontline thing would have been Dalthea, so he would have had to deploy another unit or a Dalthea over... Well, yeah, he could have Dalthea overclassed and fucked up Duck's hand. Yeah, that is what he's doing. So yeah, even if Micaiah didn't die, I guess Duck still would have been screwed. I guess that almost means that the Berserkite is a blessing in disguise, because I think Haruno is definitely going to try and deny Duck his orbs this match. But Duck is going to be able to use Berserkite to tap into those orbs a bit earlier than he normally would have been able to. He might even be able to make use of them to win the game. We'll see, though. This is looking pretty grim for Duck. 1 card in hand. Haruno has Jenny and Dalthea on board. Haruno is probably going to clash change into Tiki next turn, and at that point he's going to be able to use Jenny 2 out of every 3 turns, and there's no deck that can really keep up with that card advantage. Duck's just going to lose. It's going to be as simple as that. Right now, as far as growths are concerned, Duck is not in a desirable situation, not in any stretch of the imagination. He has a stack of... Oh! He's going to move Jenny to the front row. That's crazy. Alright. I guess he just has a lot of Jenny in his hand. It's understandable, I guess. I assume he has a lot of Jenny in his hand. He has to, otherwise he wouldn't have done that. But anyways, Duck just counting his stack. He has 5. This is just not good for Duck. His win con is just getting a massive stack with Ike 7-5 and building it up to a point where it doesn't matter how much advantage Tiki has. It gets to a point where Tiki has to crit every attack, and all of Ike's cards in his hands are dodges because Ike just runs a shit ton of copies of himself, and Tiki just can't do anything as Ike slowly wins the game, can clear board every turn with Ira, etc. But yeah. Duck decides to go out of Berserk Ike. I don't know if I would have done that. I feel like I would have stayed in Berserk Ike for like 1 more turn, tried to take another orb. But at the same time, if he does decide to do that, that just makes him even more vulnerable on the turn that he clash changes out of Ike. So I can't blame him for wanting to try and do that as quickly as possible. There's the Jenny overclass. I think that if I'm Duck, I'm just going to scoop at this point. I don't think this is winnable for Duck. Who knows? Maybe he could make a miracle happen, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure that this is going to mean Haruno is going up 2-0 in the set, giving him a pretty sizable lead. This is the Haruno, the classic Haruno Conquest special. He wins with Femui and Tiki, and he just needs to play Elise. He just needs to get 1 win with Elise, and it's going to be the struggle as he plays. Who knows? He could prove me wrong. He could just win the 3rd game with Elise. So I could just be like talking all the shit. Oh, he's gonna play 3 games of Elise, and they're all gonna go for like an hour because it's Elise, and he's gonna lose all of them. Blah 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 blah. But he could just win the next game of Elise. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think Duck's winning this game. That's a Jenny overclass. Haruno's like almost caught up on orbs. He has more field. He's poised to just generate even more advantage. He's going to be able to use Jenny's purifying healing this turn. Right now, he's probably just debating whether he wants to attack face in an attempt to mill or not. That's going to hit because Haruno has more cards in hand than Duck. Yeah, it looks like Haruno's ready to just try and end things here. That's going to miss though.
I don't know if I would have attacked with Tiki, though. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have that many Tiki dodges, but I feel like I probably would have rather just tap move back Jenny and tap moved up Tiki. Let's check and see what orb he grabbed to Jenny. Probably, if I had to guess... Oh, he put a Tiki in his orbs. Yeah, in that case, I think I definitely would have tapped back Jenny. But then again, I don't know what's in his hand. He could just have a shit ton of Jenny. As long as he has at least 1 over 5 or 4 or 5 Jenny, then he'll be fine. But at the same time, if that Jenny's in the backline, he can use that Jenny to overclass. So I don't know if I agree with the decision to keep Jenny in the backline. He has 3 orbs. Ike isn't the type of deck that can burst you down from 3 orbs even if you have no dodges in hand, unless you just surprise Ike 7/5s. I guess that's a possibility, but even then, yeah, it looks like that's what Duck's gonna go for. He's just gonna like bank on the fact that Duck doesn't, or Haruno, yeah, he's just gonna bank on the fact that Haruno doesn't have the phase. But I mean, we saw Haruno grab a Tiki orb with Jenny, so oh, he's going for the Ira Bond skill. He just wants to clear Haruno's field. That hits. I was about to be like, oh my god, that doesn't hit, but that does hit. That is a self from Duck, but Haruno gets Baton support. Greygoat fails him, unfortunately. Greygoat fails him once again, but here it wouldn't have mattered. That was hitting no matter what. And here comes the swing into Tiki. Let's see if Haruno dodges or not. He does choose to take the orb. Let's see if he decides to take another orb. He's just going to take all of his orbs. Very greedy play on Haruno's part. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. Oh, and here comes Berserk Ike. Oh my lord. These Berserk Ike timings this game have just been like so horrid. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Ike's not untapping. To Duck's benefit, this could work out for him. Because he's a 100 base, so hitting Duck is going to be a challenge for Haruno, unless he has colorless Tiki in his hand. And next turn, if Ike has another, or if Duck has another 7/5 Ike in his hand, then that means Ike is going to be a 90 attack, which is a pretty reasonable amount. It's not like, it's not the you can't touch me anymore point. And Duck and Haruno does not even have colorless Tiki. All of a sudden, this game, oh, he selfs. That's unfortunate. All of a sudden, this game looks a lot more winnable for Duck. Ultimately, though, it hinges on whether Duck has another 7/5 in his hand. If he does, I think Duck might be able to pull through here. He may have made the miracle happen. He has made the impossible happen. And if that's the case, Haruno's in deep shit, because I don't think Elise can feasibly take a game off of Sword or Mia. That just seems so impossible to me. So yeah, Haruno really needs to figure something out here. I don't know what's in his hand. He could have a shit ton of Jenny, as I mentioned earlier. Like, oh, and yeah, Duck has the Ike 7/5, so he's gonna be at 9. Ike's gonna be 90 here. It's looking a bit shitty for Haruno. Oh, and Duck. Oh no, oh wait, no, Haruno's 60 because he selfed earlier. Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, Haruno probably has a bunch of Jenny in his hand since he was so eager to keep his Jenny on the front line.
Adelthea would no doubt be useful here too. Thin that hand size down. Alright, so Tiki is at 8. Oh, and it's a Maria. He doesn't even have a Jenny. Wow. Hopefully he doesn't self again. That would be catastrophic. Okay. He doesn't self, but that is not going to hit. That's probably not even that bad for Haruno. I don't think Haruno minds that. I don't think Haruno wants to give Duck more cards here. Just judging by how he was playing earlier, keeping Tiki on the back line even though she was at 3 orbs, grabbing a Tiki orb of Jenny, saying "oh god" even though he clearly had ample Jenny and Delthea overclass in his opening hand. Something tells me that he does not have very many Tiki evades in his hand.
Who's all of these people? King Garen, a few other guys who I don't know.
Okay. Let's see what Duck is going to do. Presumably try and build up his stack even more. Micaiah would have, I was going to say Micaiah would have been useful, but he just shuffled his retreat, so nah. Looks like he's going to use Alencia to build up his stack even more, get some card advantage, and then he's going to grab one of the cards that he flips with Mia. Probably this Ike 4-3 that he's flipping. And you get Ike up to 100 power. I don't know what's in his hand. Maybe he just doesn't have any other Ikes in his hand. If he does, though, I feel like I would have just flipped to Micaiah instead and grabbed that, and then prepared to go up to 120 next turn. This is incredible, though. Is Duck seriously going to make the miracle happen? Yes. Ike is indeed at 100. Yes. He has a counter right there. Yeah, now he's just going to swing and face. This is going to... Well, it would if Duck's units were actually able to get a hit in, but Haruno is 90 base, so Duck's just going to need some support luck in order for Alencia and Mir to actually hit Haruno. But if they do hit, that's going to punish Haruno for his greed earlier in taking all those orbs, going from 3 orbs to 0 with getting hit repeatedly by Ike. Or wait. Yeah, he needs to shuffle. The Delthea one also goes into his retreat. I'm not going to make him search his deck and grab it. That's a hit. That's a dodge. I wouldn't be surprised if Duck has a crit for Alencia here. Nope, okay. And thus begins Haruno's turn. Let's see what he does here. I kind of feel like Haruno wants to end the game quickly here. Delthea would probably be really good if he can get that. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get it. That's good for him. How many bonds does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just one short of being able to do it again. He's going to get an Ike and an Ira. Oh, he didn't even go for any of the bonds he flipped. He just got the Duck just grabbed the Ira with Mir. I didn't even notice, but nonetheless, that is not going to hit. Alright, that he's not going to be able to bond the Ira again. That's pretty huge for Haruno. Duck evades with Mir. I don't know if I would have done that. I feel like he's just giving Haruno the opportunity to make more plays by doing that. Like,
did he dodge with the Mir? He did, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I don't know if I would have done that. Mir's only a 3 cost. You can really easily just deploy that Mir next turn. You potentially give Haruno the opportunity to crit with Delthea and kill that Mir. And I guess you could say now that, like, oh, he didn't go for Mir, that means he doesn't have a crit, but, like, I don't know. I don't think that necessarily means he doesn't have a crit. Haruno might have just decided, you know what, I want to keep a dodge so that if Ike goes for Delthea, he doesn't untap,
and because of that I'm going to swing at Alincia instead. It looks like Nino is going to target Dalthea though to ensure that Haruno doesn't try and play any funny business with dodges and the like. I think that if Duck does attack, yeah, which he is doing, he's attacking Dalthea and Nino. I think Haruno's just got to take this one. Smartly played by Duck, making sure... Oh, and that's going to hit. That is going to hit. Here's a situation where those orbs that Haruno took earlier would be useful. Haruno is forced apart with 2 dodges. Duck is closing the gap. Haruno probably wants a Jenny. Does he have it? He has a Maria. Not quite a Jenny, but it'll do. Probably wants to heal a Jenny with that Maria. Most likely just going to heal an evade and a Jenny. Hopefully he has a Jenny in his retreat to heal. I don't know if he does though. I can't see for retreats because I'm a spectator. Kinda sucks, but oh well. What can you do? What's Haruno going to do? Just gonna have to find out. That Naui is also pretty huge. He has 2 Nauis in his bonds, which makes me wonder, which makes me think that he might just try and grab a Naui. I'm pretty sure he only runs 3 Naui, and if he doesn't want Duck to untap off of Naui, then he will grab a Naui from his retreat. So yeah, he needs to tap Maria. Yeah, I feel like Haruno just grabs a Jenny and a Tiki here, and then just grabs Naui from bonds. What he's likely debating is whether he wants to grab a Tiki or a Dalthea. He might decide he wants to go for another Dalthea overclass next turn. I don't know what's in his hand, so I can't say. If he has a bunch of Tikis in his hand, I'd say go for it, but if not, then... Yeah, so he does go for the Dalthea. Which leads me to believe that now he might grab a Tiki, but that's a pretty... Yeah, he's going to grab it now. That's smart on his part, because if he grabs a Tiki, all of his other 2 Nauis were in bonds, so Ike would have been able to guarantee the untap after attacking the Naui, but now he cannot do any such thing. Alright, so if Duck has a crit for Marcia here, or if Duck can get... Well, no, Duck can't get a self on Marcia. All of the other Marcia are out of the deck. Or, not, yeah, Duck can't get a self on Naui. All of the other Naui are out of the deck. My bad. Does Duck have a crit? If not, then you just basically attack. Well, what does he do? Oh, yeah, he's just grabbing the card with Marcia.
Alright, yeah, so he should have attacked Tiki there, because there is no way that, what's its face? There's no way that Marcia hit Naui. There was a chance that Tiki hit Naui. Yep, and Naui's going to dodge, and Haruno will likely grab the other Naui out of his bonds this turn. This is a pretty close game. I think Haruno, he stumbled a bit earlier, but it looks like he's starting to get it back together because he is probably going to go for... He's probably going to play both a Jenny and a Dalthea this turn. He's going to get a bunch of cards, and he's going to destroy Duck's hand. This is going to be a pretty big turn for Haruno. I can't help but feel like Duck bonding Micaiah earlier was a mistake. I think he probably should have held on to it, played it the turn after he had some Ike in his retreat, and tried to build up his stack even further, because 10th stack, it's decent, but it's not at the point where, like, your opponent guaranteed needs to crit you in order to hit you. I would have definitely wanted to build that stack up a bit higher. I don't know why Duck's other Ike is still underneath. This Ike, that's kind of annoying, but meh, it's just my OCD. Yeah, he has 10. Oh, and the double Jenny overclass. Wow, he doesn't even go for Videlphia. He just goes for double Jenny. Yeah, that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad for Duck.
Yeah, Haruno definitely looks to have secured this game back in his favor, attacking Marcia with Tiki, playing very meticulously. I feel like he could have just attacked Marcia with Jenny and then tried to get some chances going face with Tiki and Naui, but like, it probably doesn't matter too much.
At the end of the day, his chances of hitting are low anyways, and just judging by the game state, I think that Haruno has a lot of time here. He's going to grab a Delthea 1 and a Naui. Oh, so now he doesn't even need to grab the other Naui from his bonds. Presumably he'll grab a Tiki, Jenny, or Delthea from bonds. Let's see if this hits, though. No self, no hit, unless Haruno decides to crit, which, given that Duck's at 2 orbs, I don't think he wants to do that. He could do it. He could crit, then grab the other Naui from his bonds. Seems to be debating it. He does do it. Personally, I don't think I would have done that. I suppose he doesn't want to wait for Duck to draw into his Ira too, which is fair. I think a question worth asking is if Haruno has any other Jenny dodges in his hand. He did orb a Jenny, so he does have that going for him. But does he have Jenny dodges in his hand? That will make a pretty big difference. Because we know he has enough dodge, obviously. He just grabbed one. Duck could also just deploy a 61 to 2 range unit on the front row and effectively nullify Haruno's Jenny dodge, unless he has 2 of them, in which case that just really sucks for Duck. Let's see what Duck tries to do here. He's debating. It seems he's debating on whether he wants to bond a card, which he does. I don't know if he needs to be bonding cards at this juncture, unless he's like plans on deploying a mirror this turn. That way the mirror stays at 80, but like honestly, oh, he goes to Aether Ike. That's interesting. Does he have any more 7/5 Ikes? He does have one more. He has one more 7 Ike, so the Ike is at 11 now. He bumps that up.
Going to Aether Ike. He does have another 7/5 Ike. He has one more in his deck. Though, he needs to clear the board, but at the same time, this is good for Duck, I suppose, because it means that if Haruno wants to play Jenny or Delthea, I don't think he wants to play Jenny because he won't be able to pure heal next turn, since at most he'll have 2 bonds. But if Haruno does want to play Delthea, which he no doubt has, we've seen him heal a 4 cost, we've seen him heal a 1 cost, he no doubt has at least 1 Delthea overclass available. He could have 2. If he has 2, then that is just devastating for Duck. If he has 2, that's probably just game over, because Duck's only on 1 orb at this point. So he definitely has 1. Oh, he has 2. Yep, that is unfortunate.
Well, Duck looked like he was almost going to make the miracle run. He was going to make it happen, but the double Delthea, a devastating play as always, turns things back around for Haruno and has put Duck once again in a state where he looks like there's just no chance of him winning. And yep, he's going to crit with Delthea. The classic Duck oof comes out. And he does Tiki selfs, but no doubt he has a crit, right? Yeah, he has a crit. And that is GG. Haruno is leading the set 2-0. He now only needs to win 1 game. Just 1 single game with Elise. Can he do it? Let's find out.